And good evening, everyone. Welcome into another edition of our Tee2Green Winter Rules podcast. I'm Brian Koziel, Kevin Sylvester, Jeff Blank, all part of our Tee2Green team. Happy to be with you here on a Tuesday evening, as we're excited to be with you again for another edition brought to you by our friends at GolfDojo. 3 great locations: Transit Road in Williamsville, Niagara Falls Boulevard, and their newest location, just off of McKinley Parkway down in the South Towns. And we, of course, would encourage you to go there while it's still winter. It was a nice warmer day today, but still a lot of snow on the ground, so we won't be hitting outside anytime soon. MyGolfDojo.com to set up a tee time. It's a reservation for some simulator time for you and your friends, or you and your family. Maybe a nice lesson with our PGA Pro, Jeff Meadus from our Tee2Green team. Again, you can email Jeff directly, jeff@mygolfdojo.com. All right, busy week, and we're looking forward to getting into things here as NFL season officially ends with the Super Bowl. Kevin, we'll start with you. The biggest NFL party is done, but you were at the biggest golf party of the year out in Phoenix at the Waste Management Open. I love how it's always the same weekend as the Super Bowl. It allows me to not have to watch 6 hours of Super Bowl pregame coverage. The playoff literally took us right up to the national anthem. It was perfect timing.
Yeah, it's a great week. I love the event. I love the energy around the event. The fans, which I know we're going to get into. I didn't love Travis Kelce walked by me on Wednesday, the Pro-Am day, and I just looked the other way. I mean, as a Bills guy, I'm sorry. I don't want to meet. No, I'm kidding. It was kind of cool. He was cool with all the fans out there in Phoenix. It was Larry Fitzgerald was there, who's a great guy and became a Hall of Famer, rightfully so. Actually the next day on Thursday when he was named the NFL honors. So yeah, it's a fun week. The energy that is there is unlike any other tournament. It's a unicorn in a field of horses. I think the WM Phoenix Open. And I'm still got my color from the sun. It was nice, boys. It was 80 every day.
What is the sun you're referring to?
Well, it's this thing in the sky, comes out, helps grass grow. It's ideal conditions. Actually, it got a little overcast late in around Thursday and Friday, but it was welcome.
Oh, that must have been terrible for you.
Yeah. Someone had to do it.
Thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely. Kevin, the 16th hole obviously gets a ton of attention there. Walking through there, just take us what that's like walking into that. They call it the Coliseum. What's it like?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, it's a little more tame than it used to be, and that's on purpose. It was getting a little too raucous. At times, from the hole-in-ones a few years ago, which was cool to happen once, but then any good thing happened, like, beers are being thrown. It's like, all right, guys, hang on. Ace, I get it. A chip and birdie, that's something to go crazy about. But the players, they come off of 15, and so I walk the same route as the players when I'm walking with them on the ground. So I'll leave the back of 15 green. Sometimes I'll stay across a little inlet of water, depending on where the hole location is, where I can see it for putts being made or missed. And then, you walk through this ramp to get up to the tee box, and you come out. I mean, it is exactly what, if you've seen the movie Gladiators, it's exactly like, when Maximus, walks up the ramp and all of a sudden everybody's cheering. That's exactly what it's like. You come out on that tee box, and the first thing you see this monument to the aces that have happened on the hole-in-ones for the tournament, and it's kind of a statue of the hole itself, the logo for 16. And then you see they have like courtside seating for the tee box now. So they've got two decks of that, but then you just see 3 levels of stadium seating up there, and that is all the way around the kind of the horseshoe. And then you walk down. So I'll walk down the cart path, but then I'll just cut behind a desert bush to call tee balls. So I'm about halfway between the hole and there. But you look up in the grandstands to the right and on the back of the green, it's just packed. People are dressed as bananas, hot dogs, chickens. Everybody's got matching outfits in there. And the balls hit. There's just kind of this anticipation of, okay, maybe something great is going to happen. And you're waiting to see if you're going to get booed or cheered as the player on there. It's awesome. It's you've seen the videos of people running, before
Yeah,
before
but
that
like
sun.
6:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah, they run to get out there. There's a line that wraps around it to get into empty seats because it's open seating. So some people may have to leave, or they've been there for a couple hours and want to walk the course and go walk with Scotty Scheffler. A couple seats open up, people get in there. They'll wait hours to get in there. So it is. It seems to get bigger and better every single year. It's just like any other. And then walking that way. And Brian, you would know this from working all the Sabre games. But anybody who's been to a Sabre game, all right, it'd be as if you came out the Zamboni entrance and walked, from one end of the rink to the other and looked in a full building. That's what it's like to play that hole and to be on that hole.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, if you go through the tunnels that they built through a lot of these, like at the Ryder Cup, they had all that on 18. Like you'd walk out underneath and everything as a spectator to go see there and walk. And then they had the players on an identical tunnel really running parallel to it. But the build out of that thing, Kevin, is just so impressive. And to be able to see that it seems like each year they add another couple of layers of suites. I don't know if they said 600 suites that are there, or maybe you know the number better than I. It's so impressive how they've really built that up into one of the best scenes in all of golf.
Well, if you're going to rent one of those, by the way, you want the upper deck because you want the upper deck behind the green because the back side of it, you can come out and watch 15 green, 10 green, 11 tee, all right there. It's unique. It's so cool, and they raise a ton of money for charity. I think. Since WM's being the sponsor, I only know it's because we had this note on the broadcast. It's like 160 million that they've raised since they've been a sponsor. I think in the history of the event, it's like 2.25 billion, right? Yeah. I mean, I say $250 million, 225 million or 250 million. It's some crazy number that you're like, they've raised that much money for local charities in the Phoenix area. That's incredible. So the Thunderbirds is like the local group that runs it. It's like the Century Club does the Byron Nelson. Like there's certain groups. It'd be like the 100 Club of Buffalo. I don't know if you're familiar with them, or the Renaissance Club. Those are two civic-oriented business type clubs. Well, this is what the Thunderbirds are, and they run this thing, and they've got it down to a science. It's so good. It is it's every year I go, and not that I go every year, but this might have been the 6th year I've been. Out of the 12 years I've been working for PGA Tour Radio, second straight year. But every time I go, there's always people on my flight going and coming back to Buffalo from the Phoenix Open. And I always see Buffalo folks there.
Couple questions. Have you ever hit a shot on 16?
No, I am not. No, I've actually never stood on the green. It's the only green I will not walk up to during play. Because that's for the players. I won't walk around there. No.
And where do you rate 17 as a risk reward par 4? I always like that hole.
I think it is I like 15 at Travelers better.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Look at the whole location on Sunday. Back left on that little peninsula. Mm-hmm. It's so hard to get to. You could be blocked out if you're on the right side. Like you could putt if you're on the front right of the green. You could actually putt into the bunker. That's off the back. I think it's you're playing for par almost on that hole.
And then 10 at Riviera as well. But
we've
talked about this before.
Yes, it's between 10 and 15 are my favorites.
Yeah. And 17.
If I had to rank them, blank, I would go. I'm going to go 10 at Riv just because it's Riv. Okay.
Right.
And there's no water on it, and guys can make double just as much as they can make birdie. And I will tell you that green at 10 at Riv. So I've stood on the back there to call a pitch shot from over in the shrubs over in the left. Mm-hmm. And I remember Tony Finau hit it over there. And I'm standing on the back of the green because the whole location is in front. And if it's 10 paces, maybe. When width, it is so narrow and it's kind of turtle shell topped where it's going to run off into the bunkers. It's such a great hole.
Yeah.
And it's at Riv. So I'll go Riv 1. I will go 15 at TPC River Highlands 2, and then I'll put 17 3.
Yeah, and 17 cost Thor Bjornsson the playoff. Basically, he ended up bogeying on it. Yeah,
I know. Ricky Fowler in 2016 had the tournament in his hands, and he hit it through the green with 3-wood into the water. Ended up in the playoff against Hideki Matsuyama and lost.
And Matsuyama, we know, of course, too, as we wrap up kind of who won this event. Obviously, we haven't even talked about who won it yet. It's Chris Gara. But Matsuyama, Kev, was dodging bullets all day.
Yeah.
He was just, for him, we all know, obviously, we're talking about pro golfers here, but for him, it was an awful day off the tee with the driver, and he kept hitting it, and he was all over the place, and he was getting away with it for almost the entire round. And then, of course, it finally caught up to him on 18.
It wasn't just Sunday. He hit 5 fairways on Thursday in round 1. He hit 10 in round 2. I think 7 or 8 in round 3, and then 3. That's it. 3. If he won, it was. I was going to say this. It was the most incredible round of golf I've ever seen by someone in the final round to win, by virtue of not being in the fairway. It's only 3 times, and one of those times was just on the edge of the green at 17, and it's so generous there. I even questioned on air, does that count as a fairway hit? Because it's on the edge of the green, and really, if you're either in the fairway on that hole or in the water, that's it. Those are the only 2 places. Nobody's in the rough.
Yeah.
And he's chipping in. He's making 20-foot par putts. Like
he was the only player in the church pew bunkers
on 18.
On 18, only player. That's how offline it was. And listen, I got over there. He got lucky. I thought he got lucky. It skipped down. Turns out he probably been better in the rough. It went up on the second one, but it was on the flat part. I actually thought he was going to play. I didn't think he was going to go for the front of go for the green. I think he was going to go for the apron in front. And I think he took enough club to get to the green, and that's when he hit. He caught it kind of low, maybe some nerves. I mean, listen, I know he's won 11 times. He's won the Masters, but there's thousands of people watching you there in person, winning on the line. And, he still had a putt to win. He still had a putt. The same putt got her up made to win in the playoff that he missed for par. And then the chair thing. I mean, you know what? Here's unfortunate, but.
Well, remember on 18, the fan made a noise first, right?
So, here's the thing.
And he backed off, in
regulation before the putt, he backed off. And someone said, there's video of this, doesn't look like a golf fan. I'll just say that. Okay. Yeah. And, who yelled, get in the hole, which is, by the way, dumbest thing you can yell. Stop yelling that. Stop yelling mashed potatoes. Those things are dumb. They're old. They're lazy. They're lazy. They're lazy. So anyways, he yells at Hideki backed off. I thought he backed off on the broadcast. I said, he backed off. I think the blimp or some other aircraft went overhead. It was a big shadow.
There was a huge shadow. You're right.
It was one of those advertising banners. So I thought he backed off for that. But that was not the case. And then on the tee at 18, I thought someone had yelled something, but a chair dropped.
Yeah.
Now they have folding chair. Yeah, they have folding chairs on the holes, for marshals to sit in. But a security guard apparently was carrying it in from 17 or wherever and dropped the damn chair. There are so many things going on. Like, listen, I stopped twice. I stopped beverage support carts, if you will. I remember Hideki, and was it round 2 or round 3? There was a gator, with all this ice to go to this hospitality area, and he's cutting through the par 3 7th. And I I happened to be standing there. I'm like, I put my hands up at the guy, and I'm like, stop. And Hideki was going through his waggle. It would have been disastrous. It would have timed out where in the middle of his backswing, this cart would have came out in front of him. Like, what would have happened there? Right. I mean, so all this stuff is going on. And, these people are just trying to do their jobs. They're just trying to get it done in an efficient manner. And he's got ice trying not to melt. So I could totally see how this happened, where behind him there's an access road. There's all this hospitality. I could totally see where somebody dropped something. But what a terrible moment for that to happen. Now, he did reset, and he had been hitting it terrible. So who's to say he would have hit it right anyways? You know what I mean? I just figured Hideki would have tried to cut a 3-wood and not hit a driver.
And he had a two-way miss all day. It wasn't just one direction. He was hooking it, slicing it.
Hey, look at the second hole. 2 days in a row. When round 3, round 4, he hit it into cactus, and the desert native area, and had to take unplayable lies, and bogeyed it both days. You can just look at the second hole right there. You could argue he lost it there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now that you've been there multiple years, Kevin, and I think they have done at least an attempt to try to corral some of the obnoxious behavior and,
indeed. Yeah.
And the things that are said that shouldn't be. Would you say it's improved over the last
yes.
year?
Yeah, yes. Okay. 100%. Okay. It's improved greatly. Listen, there are always, guys trying to be clever and some foolish things at guys will want to yell, right? But listen, most of all the interactions I had with fans were great, and a lot of young golf fans asking me about Rio Hisatsude, like, "Hey, who's this guy? Where's he from? Who's this Goddard guy?" Like, golf, people are interested in golf, right? It's not just everybody's not just there to get hammered. No, it's not. There are some who are there to party, okay, and you can maybe make that argument about any sporting event. But a lot of the golf fans were there, and I would always talk to people. We're talking Super Bowl. Great interactions. That's part of the reason why I like the event. Like, people are there to have a good time and interact. So they've done a great job, I think, of getting the message out to the fans who attend that. Like, hey, come have a great time. Be as respectful as you can, and let's have a show. And that's exactly. It's unfortunate that we're talking about that part when really it was an accident.
Yeah.
I agree. The one to talk about is an influencer, which I hate that word, by the way. I'm sorry. You're a media, but whatever. You want to call yourself an internet personality, then you're a personality. Because I don't want anybody paying someone $100 to yell jackass in a swing influencing my kid.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the kind of crap we got to get rid of. That was just ridiculous. And I thought Mackenzie Hughes handled it perfectly. He even tweeted at that bozo. And, I know everybody follows him. Oh, he's a great follow, whatever. I'm sorry. That stuff's stupid.
Yep.
Well
There's
said.
probably some funny things he does, but that was stupid.
I agree.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, before we move on to talk a little bit about TGL, how about just Goddard, Jeff Blank? Now he's won twice this year. He's off to one of the fastest starts in PGA Tour history.
Yeah, and it really started last year, kind of coming on the scene. And now 2 victories and 3 starts. He won at the Sony Open in Hawaii. Guy pounds the ball. I mean, he absolutely just lets it rip. It's hard to find, fault in his game. Did he kind of backdoor a win here? A little bit with Matsuyama, in the playoff. But, man, the guy is – I had a friend text me. We talk about Scotty being inevitable. He's like, Goddard inevitable. I'm like, well, we'll see. It's got a ways to go. But, man, what a great start to the season.
2 things I want to add. Number one, I love the little stinger, right? It's like Gary Woodland-esque, right? When Gary Woodland was at his peak in 2019, the U.S. Open. And number 2, I like that he kind of looks like me. Yeah. And what I mean by that is he doesn't have the flat belly.
Yep.
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 Well, for Goddard, I mean, what a start. And he's off. And, of course, Scheffler, we didn't even mention, made quite a run on Sunday. If he just had not had what we would consider for him a poor Thursday, we might be talking about him winning again here, 2-2 possibly. Yeah,
and
3 in a row.
He bogeyed 16 coming in on Sunday. He would have been in the playoff.
Yeah,
he had 3 wedges, 6, 9, and 18.
The 18 one was really bad. Yeah,
right. I mean, so 3 inside of 100, all 3, and usually he sticks at least 2 of those. I mean, I just give him 1, and he didn't. But would he sit here and criticize a Sunday 64? No, never. I mean, he afterwards on PGA Tour Radio, he commented to Will Haskett, who had followed him. He's like, well, I lost this on Thursday. There you go.
Absolutely.
And that's rare for him. Yep.
Yeah,
correct.
Well, great event and really, really good tournament. I love how it's the lead up to the Super Bowl. Pebble Beach this week, elevated. Scheffler's going to be back. McIlroy will be defending his title at Pebble Beach. So the almost, as just much fun, but maybe for other reasons. It's all about the calmness and the sereneness and the breathtaking views. Phoenix is great for the atmosphere and the crowd and the noise, and Pebble Beach maybe for the serenity and the shots of Mother Nature. So we'll get kind of that this week, and it'll be just as enjoyable. A lot of people know Pebble Beach well, so some of the holes, and just a spectacular finish with how that all plays out.
And I'll just add even the challenge of Spyglass. So one of the keys
right.
in the West Coast swing is they're not always playing the same course. So you get that at Torrey Pines, you get that at Pebble. So a little uniqueness on the West Coast swing.
Well, this one they only play one round there now.
Yeah, okay. Spyglass.
Yeah, they used to do 3 and then cut it.
3.
Yeah, and cut it on Saturday. Now it's a cut on Friday.
Third, there used to be a third course in rotation that was Monterey Peninsula, which is an unbelievable track. And it's got one of the greatest logos of a club in golf. It's a sea serpent going up a golf flag. It's awesome.
I'm going to be Googling that.
Yeah, you need to Google
Monterey
Peninsula Golf Club logo. It is sick. So good. So
Sweet.
Good.
Looking forward to that this week. Again, that'll start on Thursday. Elevated event, so all the big names are in it, including the defending champion McIlroy and world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. Okay, on to TGL next, and some excitement this week with a hole-in-one. And here we're going to see it. Neil Shipley doing the honors here. We'll watch
He's for the Bay Golf Club, right? This is
yes. At the San Francisco, Oakland area club, and there's the hole-in-one. So he goes.
I love the reaction.
The reaction's the best part, right? I mean, this is.
That's great.
The reaction's the best part.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, I've never had a real hole-in-one. Kevin,
neither.
I know you haven't. Blanket, you haven't, right?
I have 2.
Oh, you have 2. That's right. Jeez.
Yeah.
Bad guy to ask this question too. All right. Does a simulator hole-in-one count?
No.
I mean, you can count it as a simulator hole-in-one, but it's not a real hole. If you said, "Hey, Brian, have you had a hole-in-one?" I'd say, "Well, no, but and then I'll say, "But I had one in a simulator," which I don't. But I guess that would be my answer, just to make it seem like I did. But
that's what. Yeah, I was actually listening to WGR this morning, and Jeremy and Joe were talking about that, and Joe was saying what it is an add-on. It's but it gives you that.
Yes,
but it's not a real hole-in-one.
No, it's not. You know why? This is I mean, you can say so. You're simulating. It's in the word simulating. You're simulating.
Yes.
All right. So no, it's not a hole-in-one. It's just not a hole-in-one.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, it's great to say. So there are some people who argue that a hole-in-one on a par 3 course doesn't count because you're just hitting you're hitting wedges all the time in par 3s. Is that one of your hole-in-ones there, Blake?
Hold on.
Oh, here we go.
You got a plaque made for
my goodness.
That's one of them.
What?
Now look at
Hill?
That one's Harris Hill. All right.
All right.
Hold on.
I'm only last now. If
the
I
now
had
defunct
par 3, I'd say yes, but
the now defunct Harris Hill. It's now condos over there. That's right.
It's now condos.
Exactly. I love Harris Hill, by the way.
This is the
Alma
other
Meadows.
Okay,
Oh, that's
that
a great
one's
one.
legit.
That's
Alma Meadows, number 50. Well, they switched the 9s, right? So it was 15 back in the day. It's by the sewage area.
Okay.
Yeah, with the fence along the side.
Yeah. It's a water treatment facility, is what they.
So what you're trying to tell me is my Harris Hill one doesn't count.
What I'm telling you is
it counts.
Which one came first?
Okay, so I was like 14 years old for the Harris Hill one.
Okay,
that counts.
Well, why did you lead with that then?
Yeah, that's the best part of the story.
You made it sound.
So,
given that was Harris Hill and knowing your age, I should have thought it was 14.
Exactly, and nobody knows what Harris Hill is anymore, so I don't even have to tell them. It's
it was that place was awesome.
I loved it there.
That was great.
Good practice facility too.
Yes.
So here's the interesting part. I'm 43 years old. When I was 14, I got that one, and when I was 16, I got my second one, and then haven't sniffed one since. So I think I'm done. I think it's over.
My biggest fear is for those of you that don't know, I'm a member at Pendleton Creek, and if you know that course, you know that 1, 9, 10, and 18 are all par 3s. So what I will do sometimes is either after I'm done playing 9, or even if I'm I've gone in to eat, maybe I come back out, and this is what a lot of people do at the club, is because they're all right there. you'll play 1, then go over to 9, play 9, go over to 10, play 10, and like you can just keep playing the par 3s back and forth.
Yeah,
they're just a loop, and they go over the water, back and forth. And I'm fearful that my hole-in-one will come then, and then I'm like, well, am I screwing around? Am I just playing for fun? Like, does that count if it's not really in the course of a round? I want it to be in a legit round with witnesses, with people, and not just like, oh, I'm out there at 8:00 at night. I'll just keep playing the par 3s until it's too dark that I can't see anymore.
I did this.
I'm fearful for that.
Brian, I did this once at Ivy Ridge for Tee2Green TV several years ago. How many golf balls did I take out there? I got the folks at Ivy Ridge to agree to let me do this, and it'll be, I want to say hole 8. They may have flipped their 9s, but it's kind of over in that.
Yeah, I know hole 8.
Yep. The corner. Yep.
It's a double layered green, in the corner. And I wanted to see if I could get a hole in one. If I hit, I think it was 100 and, maybe it was I forget. We did a time or golf balls, and I came close twice. And this is hitting the same shot over and over and over.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. It is so hard to do when you're trying to do it, right? A lot of them, now you can argue, well, I'm always trying to do it. And you could argue that. I'm just saying, but the same shot over and over, it is so difficult to do. And they've done a lot of challenges through the years. I think they had something on DP World Tour. They gave them 50 shots to get a hole in one. And he did it on like a hole shot 44. Right. That's a pro golfer. So that's why they're special. That's why they celebrate like that. So because you're a teenager, I'll count Harris Hill for you.
Right.
If you'd done it when you were like 33 and made that plaque, then I'd be embarrassed for you.
All right. So next nugget, going back to Harris Hill. I love Harris Hill, but did you know when they put the condos in, they kept 3 holes active?
I didn't know that.
For the people that live there. I don't know if it's still active. But
I did hear that they kept
the back of the land, that there's still 3 holes from the old Harris Hill.
It was, I used to bring my older son when we had little Spider-Man clubs bag. We used to walk. Yeah. It was great place to bring the kids. It was awesome. What a great facility that we lost to patio homes.
I know.
Or retirement community, whatever it is.
I'm sure it's not the only place in the country that's lost a golf course to condos, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. And there'll be more to come, I'm sure.
Hey, our friends at Bobolink, we're going to be back there for another live show this year. That's a place to go with your kids. Go. It's super fun.
That place
go
is
at night
great.
Too there with the lights. Harris Hill at lights too. That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Bobolink's a better course than Harris Hill was.
1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah, Harris Hill was never going to win agronomy awards. No.
It had character though.
That's right.
It certainly had that.
Well, we've been talking a lot about par 3s today. Let's talk about a course that's known for maybe one of the most famous par 3s, and that's Sawgrass and the Players' Championship, which is coming up. A comment this week from Brandel Chambly talking about the Players' Championship being the best major. Now, we know it's not really a major. Some say it's the 5th major or the unwritten major, or some who maybe have won it want it to be a major, but it's officially not a major. But when the PGA Tour is at full strength, you could also argue it has the best field. I'll listen to that. Kevin, let's start with you here. You've gotten to play Sawgrass.
Yes, I rinsed it.
Yeah, on 17.
I fired at the back left pin. It was very dusky out, and I hit the bulkhead. The whole location was probably like 5 paces on, and I hit the bulkhead hole high right next to it. It was a good looking ball until it hit wood and then went in the water. So
when I played it, it was the Saturday location, I think. Is it kind of back left?
Back left. That's how. Yes, that's it. That's how it was when I played it. It was also Saturday.
There you go.
They put it there, and that back right hole location when you're up on that green, that it does you see it on TV. Doesn't even do it justice, does it, Blank? It's unbelievable that green. How much of a ramp it is, and like tucked behind that bunker, like when Ricky Fowler firing at that thing, you're like, I can't believe he'd fire at that hole location. It's nuts.
And the thing with at least the back hole location, when I hit probably, I don't know, 5 feet short of the pin. It spun all the way back
down to the front. Yep.
I ended up on the fringe in the front. That's how much spin it had.
I believe it.
Unbelievable. It's a cool hole. Yeah.
So
is it a major? Is that, I mean, that's the question. I mean, Brandel
right now
Chambly
it's
also, if you read his stuff, he lays out this whole argument about, well, there used to be, the USAM used to be major. These things have shifted over time. It's about sentiment, right? Believe me, every player wants to win the Players, not just because of the purse, but because of the prestige of it. To say that they conquered Pete Dye's masterpiece, right? Because it does not favor any one type of player. You can't just bomb it there. You need every shot in the bag to win the Players Championship. And if it is the strongest field in golf every year, then what's the problem with calling it a fifth major? Now, I know Rory made a comment. Well, the LPGA is 5 majors. I don't think it's worked out for them. But if we all keep saying it's the fifth major, then it's the fifth major. Argument rests. Done. Why can't we have 5? Why can't we have a major in March and April, in May and June and July? Why can't we?
We can. We just then have to.
Okay.
Do you give past credit then for major victories? Like, does Tiger get credit for all of his players now as major championships?
Well, and when was the start of the Players? It hasn't been around.
81 maybe.
Yeah, but but other ones, the Masters hasn't been around forever. Hasn't been around as long as the Open.
Well, I'm just saying, how many Players has Tiger won? Would he pass Jack?
He's won one, I believe.
Okay, just one. It would be curious.
I think it's one.
Would the conversation change if he won 4? And all of a sudden now he's 19 majors and Jack is 18.
Brandel also makes the argument that with the British Am and the USAM taken away from Jack, it was 20. He had 20 majors, and then he took those away. They made him 18. Yeah.
So, Woods has won the Players twice, by the way. Won
twice.
13.
So he'd be one short of Jack. Jack hasn't won it, I assume, because 1980. Right. I don't know.
Listen, I think here's the part that I tend to focus on. Call it a major, don't call it a major. To me, it doesn't diminish the Players.
I agree.
It doesn't.
No.
For those who've been there, it's special. When you get the assignment to work the Players, you're excited. It's a special assignment. It's the PGA Tour. If the best players in the world are there, and that's how they qualify. It's a larger field than the Masters. The Masters is a private club. It's an invitation tournament. There's the prestige of it, the tradition of it, but Players isn't far off, boys.
I guess my opinion, I love what you said, Kevin, about the challenge of the course and how there's been no repeat champion in history, which is different than I would assume any other major. The only caveat that I would take away is I guess I don't think a tour should have a major. And what I mean by that is you have the PGA of America, you have Augusta National, you have the RNA, the US Open, so the USGA. These are not tours. And with the current environment of golf, where you have the PGA Tour, now you have LIV, you got the DP World Tour, and who knows what the future is going to look like. If another tour were to be on par with the PGA Tour, if hypothetically LIV did, now do they get a major? I just don't know that tours
fair question.
Have.
Tour can't have one, but a private club can.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a black and white thing.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think it's great as it is. I don't need it to be a fifth.
I agree. Yeah.
Because if you go back and then give past credit and saying, well, now all these count as majors. Well, at the time it wasn't a major. So does that mean, what if some people have handled the pressure differently if it was a major? I mean, again, all these hypotheticals that are out there.
I think it's fair. I think this is a fair comment. All right. Some people are like, oh, come on. I think it's harder to win the Players than the Open Championship.
Depending upon what kind of player you are, I think that could be.
That's a loaded question.
Depending upon what kind of player you are. Sure.
Listen,
let's say you stink at links golf. It might be harder for you personally to win the Open. Versus, versus a course that doesn't cater to anybody.
It's a deep field, the deepest field in golf. It's a course that doesn't favor anything. you can get you got the luck of the draw weather-wise in the Open.
For much of his
I guess
career,
what I'm
though,
saying
I bet
is
you
there's
Phil
no way.
Mickelson would disagree. Phil Mickelson would, for most of his career, would have probably disagreed with you. For him, he might say it's easier for him to win the Players. But I understand what you're saying.
You know,
Yeah,
and saying that, by the way, none of them are easy to win.
Yes.
It's not easy to win the John Deere Classic, boys. All right.
Yeah.
You've got to play great golf to win any of them. So,
and we remember
I'm just thinking Ben Curtis isn't winning the Players. Okay, that's all. Maybe that's not fair to Ben Curtis.
No, now you're bringing up an interesting question. Like, what's the most obscure player to win the Players?
Well, it almost happened last year. If you remember, little known at the time, J.J. Spawn had a chance to win.
Went into the playoff.
Right.
Yeah.
He went into the playoff with Rory. Now, Rory ended up winning, but that was kind of Spawn's moment to get on the map. He said his confidence changed, his mental approach changed the whole way through. And now look what happened 3 months later. He's hoisting the U.S. Open trophy at Oakmont.
I know the answer to your question.
Oh, I was going to ask the listeners or the watchers to post. But go ahead.
No, I know the answer, and I don't want to say the answer because he's a friend of mine.
Oh,
and
no.
He's awesome to work with and one of the best human beings on the planet. So I'm not going to say it.
Well, now I'm thinking who you're working with.
Brian, you remember that he chipped in from off the green on the 72nd hole, that front left pin.
Trying to remember this now.
I forget the year. I'll just tell you who it is. Perksy. Craig Perks.
Craig Perks.
From New Zealand. Craig Perks, who again had a fabulous week, won the Players. He is unbelievable human being, awesome guy, great analyst. But he'd even tell you, no one picked me going in that. So
I was going to Siwoo Kim won it.
Siwoo, was he a rookie then? Maybe his second. He was 20.
He was very young. Yeah,
must have been
2018. He won.
It must have been because I don't even remember it. Yeah,
Jason Day won in 17, right? I mean, just say you look at the names who've won it, and you're like, and then. But it's that's like the majors though too, right? I mean, you've got the Paul Lawries, the Ben Curtises sprinkled in there in the Open Championship. US
Todd
Open,
Hamilton, yes,
Todd Hamilton, right? You look at U.S. Opens, you got Michael Campbell, you got Steve Jones in there, right? I mean, you've got other players sprinkled in there that have won majors. So I mean, there's. I guess that's the beauty of the game of golf, really, no matter what tournament it is, whether you want to call it a major or not, right?
You have one right down the road, Sean McKeel at Oak Hill.
Sean McKeel.
The 03 PGA.
He might be the most unlikely major winner of them all, right? Is it him or Todd Hamilton? Which one? One
of those two, for sure.
He was
a 250-1 underdog. All right.
But that's the beauty of this game, right? Yeah. It can happen. It can happen. So. We're on the thing where hey, if you want to call it a major, go ahead and call it a major. If you don't, fine. I think the golf universe is going to stick with the 4, but it'll always be called the 5th major. So that's fine. You want to call it, if it wants to be the nickname the 5th major, great. I think it's the Players. And everybody knows what the Players is. Everybody plays knows what the Players is.
Yeah,
every player wants to be in the Players, and they all want to win the Players because it's special.
With respect to Augusta National and the holes there that everybody remembers, I think it's the best course that they play on the tour schedule. It's at least the most difficult. It challenges you from start to finish. I mean,
it's a great track, and that's part of the beauty of it. Everybody knows the course. Yeah, it's great.
Now, if you want all-time upsets in major history.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Brian did some homework.
Yeah, he did. That's good.
You actually could take Mickelson at Kiowa in 2021 because of his age.
Age 51, right?
He was 52. On some books, he was 275-1.
Yeah, but it was Phil Mickelson, though. It was Phil Mickelson.
Now, again, at the time, John Daly was the 9th alternate into the field at the 91 PGA at Crooked Stick. Nobody had what he was all about. Now, Todd Hamilton, 500 to 1. That's ahead of McKeel. And that's a bigger one than McKeel.
But didn't Todd win after that? Todd won. I think he won the Valspar or something. He won another tournament. I'm just looking at guys who didn't do anything. Like, that's all they did.
Ben Curtis was ranked 396th in the world when he won.
Yeah. But Ben did win another tournament. He might have won another 2 tournaments. So
he had a good college career at Kent State. I remember him. He was a good college player.
But he won that out of nowhere, to your point.
Yeah.
But, yeah, maybe Todd Hamilton. But, God, I think Todd – anyways, not here nor there. We're sitting here thinking, and, I think it's great when those guys do win because it opens – there's Monterey Peninsula, right? Isn't that thing sick?
There's the logo. That is pretty nice.
Sweet. I had to bring it up. I'm like,
yes.
Let's take a look at it.
That thing is I'm mad at myself that I didn't purchase anything in there.
Yeah, when I was there. That's beautiful right there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful one.
Awesome.
All right, good stuff. Kevin, we got Pebble Beach. When's your next event you're on that you're going to?
I'll be working PGA Tour Live for Palm Beaches, Cognizant Classic Palm Beaches. So I got after 4 in a row, I got a couple weeks off.
So Florida Swing's coming up.
What? Right. Pebble Beach, then Riviera, and then to Florida, right?
Yes, it's Pebble. Yeah, yes, yeah. Pebble.
And we're back at Durrell this year.
Back this year.
Just not on the Florida Swing, or is it?
Right.
It's after. It's in May.
It's after the Masters. Yeah.
Okay. It's after. Yeah, I want to say first week.
Not the week after, but it's
first week. Like last weekend, April 1st. I just know because I booked travel for it.
They go RBC after the Masters.
RBC still after the Masters, and then
they usually go to Texas, don't they?
Yes.
They redid some of that schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta think. They do Valero, Masters, RBC, and then it goes.
Usually it's the Byron Nelson after that.
Byron Nelson. Then they go.
Don't they have the team event? Zurich, yeah.
And then usually Charlotte, right?
Yeah, no, Charlotte is before
the PGA. Yeah.
Yes, it's after. This is great. Yeah. Hey, listen, speaking of schedules, I got to go to my son's hockey.
Yeah, you got to go.
All right, we're gonna wrap up. Again, want to thank our friends at GolfDojo for presenting our Winter Rules podcast. MyGolfDojo.com to make a simulator time. Get a lesson with our buddy Jeff Meadus there. Check out their newest location out of the South Towns off McKinley Parkway. And, of course, there are other two great locations, Niagara Falls Boulevard in Tonawanda and Transit Road in Williamsville. Okay, guys, have a good week. We'll talk to you soon. For Jeff Blank, Kevin Sylvester, I'm Brian Coleshiel. Thanks for listening to another edition of our Tee2Green Winter Rules podcast presented by GolfDojo.